Right, so this is our board. Some people already have seen this board in the previous session. So this is our board for Scrum for beginners. So today we have created two user stories already. The user stories are not refined, they are just placeholder in our product backlog. This is our product backlog where we have list of requirements. So today we will be doing the role of Scrum Master, Product Owner, and the Scrum team. So Khurram, what you want to take? What role you want to take?
What do you think? Yeah, we can take one role. Can I be like perhaps a product owner for a while?
Okay. So Khalid, what you want to be?
I think let me say I am a developer.
Okay, so then I will take the Scrum Master role. So as
Yes.
you all know, the Scrum Master role is a facilitator role. So the person who is wearing the Scrum Master hat will be helping team to focus on their sprint goal and to basically remove impediments and to help them towards the direction of the sprint goals. So the responsibility of user stories is being with product owner. So product owner, can you please tell us what are these two user stories?
So one of our client, we did the product that was, so now I'm in the product owner role. So I'll just try to act like that.
Yes.
Yes. So the website that we are building, we right now, the first phase was that the user should be able to log in, which the team has developed very well, and the customer is super happy with that. The next thing that we want to build, the description is mentioned there. So I can just explain it what the customer would like to have. So this is user story 001, and the title is forgot password. So as a website owner, I want my website to have a forgot password feature so that the user who forgot their password can easily reset new password. The reason is that sometimes the password are misplaced, and we need to have this feature in our product that user can able to retrieve that. Yeah. So any questions for that I can help clarify more?
So as a development team, you can ask our product owner what is the acceptance criteria or what is the definition of done for this user story. So what
Exactly.
development team needs to do so they can make product owner happy.
Exactly. My question is the same one. I was about to ask, what is the acceptance criteria? What need to be done? Can you?
Yes, good. Thanks, Khalid, for asking that. What we need to do right now is that there is on the login page, we have the username and we have the password. So there should be a one link there that tells forgot password. And if you click that, then the user, we need to have a link there. And when you click that, that should take the user to another page where user can enter the respective information to get the password.
Okay, so if you see, I'm typing what our product owner has said. So usually what happens in the planning session, the product owner add all the detail in the user story before the session. So now we want to show you how it works. So we are asking our product owner to tell us what is his acceptance criteria. So given I am on the login page, given there is a link for forgot password. So when I click on it, then what happened, our product owner?
Yes, I should have that hat with the same PO. Yes, so good. So then it should, when I click on it, then it should take the user to another page and add respective information.
Okay, so our development team. So we have Zia and Khalid. So if you can see, this is the acceptance criteria from our product owner. Now, what we need to do is we need to, if you guys understand the user story, then we need to create task. If you have any question, feel free to ask our product owner.
Yeah, sure. I have a question. We wrote then clauses. Then clauses says it will take user to another page. Then password can be reset. Can be reset. Is there for should we add some further details in it? Like it should send to email to user that is want to reset his password like that.
Oh, I totally forgot that. Yes, this is a very valid question. I forgot to mention that on the when we mentioned the forgot password page, then it should ask for the username or the email address, and then it should reset the password. And yes, good that I missed that point. Yeah, and it should send an email.
Okay.
One question from my side is, first of all, hello, how are you? Sorry for the late
No
joining.
problem. Thank you, Zia, for joining. Good to see you after a while.
Okay, so about alternative scenarios, uh, we should use the acceptance criteria, or it should be mentioned in the main description of the story.
Okay, so I feel like, yes, we understand the question. So right now I need to clarify one thing. Right now what we are doing is a kind of a role play thing. I am acting as a product owner. Zishan is acting as a scrum master, and Khalid, and hopefully you as well, can help act as a developer. So we started writing with the user story, and then I explained the feature, and then Khalid, who has been really helpful in asking really good questions at what are the different criteria. So what we are doing right now is just trying to role play how the sprint planning works. And a part of it also happens during the backlog refinement, but right now we are focusing more on sprint planning, just to just kind of opening up and relaxing what kind of questions that we can ask to the product owner and even to Scrum Master. Yeah. So what you just asked in and once we are done with the one phase, like with the user story, we can take a pause and then reflect upon it. What did we miss? And then we can help Zishan, and I can also help from our experience what other things can be done. And what you asked, Zia, Zishan, what do you think about what Zia, the question that Zia asked? Should it be in the main story or should it be in the subtask, the acceptance criteria?
Right now we have one single story, so I think it should be part of the user story. If it's a big epic, then we can have multiple stories on that. So right now we are trying to complete all this activity in, like, let's say 30-45 minutes. So that's why we chose a very small user story, so we can complete all the activities like creating a task, estimating the task, and getting input from the development team and the Scrum team.
Great. So let's get our heads back. It was good to take a pause and explain. So Zia, come up with every question that you think that that earlier you were not able to ask in your development team as a developer or in the other role, and we just try to help each other gain more understanding. Good. So
Sorry, Khurram, between Zia and Khalid, can one of you be a tester and one of be a developer? That will really help in creating you task.
I think I feel Zia is a tester and I am a developer.
Okay. Zia, you are happy to be a tester?
Okay, I can play the role of tester as well.
Okay, so the question you
Because
need
I
to
am a
ask.
full stack.
Cool. So the question you need to ask Khurram or myself is regarding, you need to think about how you need to write the test cases, and when you execute the test cases, what is your acceptance criteria and all these things. So the acceptance criteria is in front of you, user story is in front of you. We don't have a UX designer right now, so we assume the guy is there as well, who is playing that role. So if you have any questions, then ask. Otherwise, we'll go to the task planning.
Okay, so please carry on. I will ask question later.
Perfect. So Khalid had asked about what that another page. What do you think if we change the another page into the forgot page? So yeah, any more questions? So we have the password link, reset link should be sent via email. Yes, that we want to for this specific user story for now.
Okay. All right. So this is our assume. Right now, I have to use two separate boards because in Trello it doesn't give the facility or functionality to create subtasks. So I'm just trying to portray like we are in a group. Sitting in front of each other and we are writing the task on a post-it note. So this is a post-it note online tool. So I have predefined some of the tasks. Like there is a task for UX guy, there is a task for test design, task for UI, task for developer, task for test execution. So there are multiple tasks. So the pattern which is really helpful is, for example, if you have all your post-it note on the wall or on the whiteboard, it will be good to have your user story number somewhere on the task. It will be good to have like feature of this task, like it's a design or it's a development or it's a test task. And then once you have basically figured out what needs to be done, then we need to estimate the numbers. Okay, so over to you, development team. So Huram and Zia.
Yes. So yeah, perhaps it was Khalid and Zia, right?
Yeah.
Yes, Khalid and Zia.
Right now, I don't have any question. It will be some questions in when we proceed, but for time being, let's proceed first.
Okay, if you don't have question, then you need to tell me. For the the user story. User story is about
Yeah.
providing the functionality for forgot password, right? So I believe Zia, you
Exactly.
are playing a role of tester. So you have task here for test design and you have a task here for test execution. So what you will do in test design, tell me, I will write it here.
Yes.
What you will do?
In test design, we can make a testing strategy. How we will execute the whole process. So we also will take care of the uh, other than normal flow. We will also test the other way around so that we can find out more bugs from the story. So we can enter wrong password uh, and check that uh, is email sent properly or not. So yes,
May I add
test,
something?
yes, test design negative flow and uh, for testing we will use different users, different user accounts to check the behavior of the forgot password flow. Yes, wrong password scenarios as well, one of the scenario.
I think the user data creation can go in the test execution. So for before doing any test execution, you need to have
Yes,
user data ready, right? So we can add into
yes,
that.
okay. User data validation can also be the part of this.
Okay. So Zia, when you are writing the subtask for the testing scenario or the execution, you need to think about all your team. So you're representing a team of 2 and 3 people. So you need to
Okay.
make sure all their
Okay. So in test design, we can write about the testing tools like Selenium make an uh, process or action method that uh, that will validate the process.
say again, Zia, I lost the connection here.
Okay. So I was saying that if as a tester I am using Selenium for automated testing, I can write in test design that we will write action method for in Selenium code, Selenium for automated testing. So writing Selenium code for our new feature will be the product test design.
I think we can create a separate task for this because writing action method for automation is a separate task basically. So we can create a new
Okay.
task here.
Okay.
Perfect. Just a thought. I think this is really
Yes.
good that we have these thoughts. Let's move on to another cards as well. But I hope that you have got the idea so far with the
Yes.
start of the sprint planning, selecting the user story, adding more information, and then breaking it down. What do you say,
Um,
Yes.
I have a question. My question is when we say test design, we are writing user story as a test design. Uh, isn't it means we are discussing about the test cases in it and the process it need to be followed?
That's correct. In different organization, they use different methods. So in some organization, they write the test designs like in terms of scenarios and what are the steps to complete those tests. But in
Mhm.
some organization, like Zia mentioned, you in the test design you create the strategy as well. Like you will say how many testers will be working on this, how many days it will require. So all these are part of designing your testing activities. So it
Okay.
all associated with the number of hours. So Zia, if you are done with that, I think we need to go towards estimation as well. What do you think, Khurram?
Yes. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. So the point is we were just we got an idea at least in a way, and let's the next step then. Perfect.
Okay, so Zia, I will ask you to provide me estimates in terms of man hours for test design, how long it will take, and for test execution, how long it will take.
Okay.
So,
So uh, for if we are two uh, testers, but for this story only one tester is enough, is more than enough. So test design 4 hours are more than enough for test design.
okay, for test automation and test execution.
For test automation it will be roughly 10 hours because we have to write code, we have to test our code, and a whole process of development, analysis, development, designing will be involved. So 10 hours, I think, for this is
Okay,
will
so all the
be good.
other development team, like developers, UX guys, and other guys can also ask question to the testing team, like why they are taking that much efforts.
Yes,
If you think 10 hours is not realistic, you can help them. Maybe testing team doesn't understand fully what you will be developing because they will be testing the code or the features developed by the development team. So Khalid, you are the developer. So if you think testing estimates are huge, then you can say the development is not that heavy.
Actually, I foresee that automated testing is not required at this feature. Uh, Test scripts, if they write, they cannot check the email received in their inbox or not. But it depends on uh, the the skill set they have. I assume that Zia's team, I mean, testers have good skill set, and they are, of course, scripting a test case. It may take 10 hours, so I'm pretty much satisfied for the time.
Okay, great, good stuff. So the
Similarly,
next,
test execution.
yep.
Test as execution in first go is of 4 hours for test execution. It will involve user data creation, user validation, plus executing success scenarios and negative flows and automation or whatever automated testing can do. So performing that as well. So 4 hours are enough for these tasks.
By the way, I'm not happy with 4 hours. It should not take more than 2 hours, because data creation is the part of the design and test automation tools. When you script the test, you have to create a data set that is going to be used in those tests. So I'm not happy with 4 hours of test execution, but other
Okay,
user
great, good
stories
input.
are okay.
So Zia, what you think? Khalid, I think Khalid
Yes,
has a point. So what you think? You think it will
yes,
take?
yes. Only for Khalid we can make it 3 hours.
It's not like that. You need to think about your full team activities. You need to think about if it's
Actually, actually running automated testing take not more time, and executing steps manually also. For this simple story, 2 hours are more than enough. But creating user data uh, and planning for the execution required sometimes. It may involve some discussion with our teammates, with the developers. For example, one scenario fails, a tester have to go with and sit with the developer and explain the reason, explain the scenario that this scenario is failing. So communication, team coordination, and coordination with the testing team and developers take time. So that's why
very valid
I
point. Very good point. Very good point. User data sometimes takes time because then you need to get data from the development team, the
yes.
DBAs and all these guys. So very valid point. So I think we should. I mean, I'm not going to say that, but if you all guys agree, like as a development team, we can keep it to 4 hours.
I can act as a UX if that person is not here.
Yes, please. That will be very helpful. So if you can help us as a UX developer, and then Khalid can help us as the developer. So that would be good.
Perfect. Then we are enough people to have like a different role plays.
Yes, great. Okay, so who want to go next? UX guy or the developer?
Developer, what do you think?
I think developer has just lost the connection. So Khurram, if you can
Okay.
carry on, then he
Yeah,
can join.
absolutely. Yeah, okay. So I felt like I should not be saying developer, but should be telling the name instead. So
Very well said. My bad. So
yes. So thinking from the UX hat, last time when we had our JavaScript and CSS styles, it took us some time, and now we need to make smaller changes, and then we also need to work on additional page that will show the field, and so we need to create new user design for the new page, and user journey creation, yes, and the UI as well. Okay. So a new page as well. So probably it will take around 8 hours 4 hours for UX, you can say, thinking about the different layout, and then estimately 4 hours for UI as well. Yeah. So I just want to make a comment here, just taking from the different hat. In our company, we don't do that much of estimation in hours. So what we did was more of estimation in terms of complexity, and I feel like that might be interesting for you guys to know as well. So we have our Khalid back.
Sorry, I was disconnected.
No worries, it happens. I work with the remote teams day in and day out, so I totally understand that point. So good. So over to you, Khalid. How do you think about development? So Zishan, I'm back into my UX hat now.
Thank you very much, Huram, for helping us doing the UX and UI part. So, Khalid, now the tasks are pending on you. So, can you please tell us what development it will require in order to get forgot password feature on the website?
I think my internet is not good enough, but let me try. For development tasks, I need to have UX and actually UI pages if they are developed already and scripted. I would say, let's say it's a web application, and if it is a web
So,
application,
we have
it
our user room. So, can you please ask Huram?
Khurram, do you have scripted the UX or UI HTML pages or not? How much it
No,
will
no,
take to script those?
no.
If it is done,
Sorry, Khalid. I think if you remember from our previous sprint, we did not script them because we were still developing the products. So they are not scripted. Yes, Khalid. Yeah, they are not scripted.
I think Khalid has lost the connection again because of the internet. We cannot predict the quality of our Zoom features.
But yeah, so overall, I think hopefully it is clear enough now how to add information to the user story, and also adding the acceptance criteria, and then breaking down the task and adding more information. Uh, Anything else that how you have been working, Zishan, with these kind of things in the past experience?
Yes, I mean, as you mentioned, there are a couple of different methods. Like, for example, we do estimate the user story in terms of complexity, which is story points. And then story points are used for release planning. But then for the development team, because they are new into the system, so in order to get them basically a good understanding of how to work in agile teams, we ask them to estimate the technical task or subtask. So that's the reason we are adding those man hours on the task so the development team can understand what is required from them. And then based on that, we will fill our sprint. So let's say we have 4 days and 40 man hours in a week. So we can fill that capacity using those estimated hours.
Nice. And if you go back to Trello board for a while, Zishan, please.
Before we go back, I think Khalid is back. Khalid, you want to
Okay.
add something in your task?
um, for the development or for the UI
Development.
development.
UI, Khurram already mentioned that they have not scripted that. So
Okay,
we need to
then
change
we
that.
need to script the HTML as we discussed. It is a web page, so we need to have an HTML. There are two kind of tasks for this do for this user story. One is front end scripting, the other is back end scripting. One of the developer need to submit credentials, I mean the email address to server, and server need to respond back if they are right or wrong. Another thing that the server guy, a server developer need to have, he need to send an email if the email address exists in database. Otherwise, the message will be displayed on the same forget passwords page. So almost 8 to 10 hours of work involving each resource. Let's say UI developer takes 4 hours uh, minimum and 8 hours maximum, and this server guy takes 4 hours minimum and 8 hours maximum time. So maximum total time I need to have 8 hours of development and 3 hours of unit test writing.
Okay, great. So I think we have estimated all the tasks now. So we have estimated design activities, we have estimated UX, UI activities, and development activities for front end and the back end. So this basically completes all the subtasks for the user story. So in order to get our user story to ready position or completing the definition of done, we need to make sure all these tasks are completed within the specified sprint time.